Hey, hello everybody, this is Purge bringing you a pro level replay here. I'm going to be live casting this game here. We're watching Finland versus TEG +1 stand-in. So there's 4 players on the Dire team that are from TEG with 1 extra stand-in player. This is from the eSahara League. It's a new Dota 2 league that I've recently started casting games for, so you're going to see a lot more of these up on the channel. I hope you guys are excited about that. But it's basically going to be Dota 2 scrims is the best way to describe it. And it should be pretty fun to follow, so we get to see a lot of high-level teams. Not necessarily the best of the best, but pretty good, definitely very talented players playing in scrims. So we're going to see a lot of cool metagaming and interesting stuff like that. So right off the bat, I'm a little confused from these bans. We're going to see a first ban Venomancer and a first ban Doombringer. Now, both of those heroes haven't necessarily seen a lot of play recently. I mean, Venomancer gets played as a support for sure. But Doombringer right off the bat kind of surprises me. A lot of more likely and better bans in my opinion, like Night Stalkers and Ancient Apparitions maybe, but most importantly Lich and maybe an Anti-Mage as well. So we're going to see a Barrier ban as well coming out of this Dire team, and this is going to make me think that they probably want to ban or pick up an Anti-Mage, because Barrier is a semi-good counter to Anti-Mage because you get that big disable. Then that can really make a big difference in some team fights, honestly. Especially when you can disable somebody for 3 to 4 seconds, depending on the level. It can be the difference between bursting somebody down in a team fight, especially when he blinks in on your team, stuff like that. It's not too hard to get the disable off on him, and there is the Anti-Mage ban, very wisely coming out of the Radiant team. Now, I guess I haven't casted a game in a long time, so I can do some channel feedback. I don't normally get the chance to talk about random stuff like that. Because I end up posting mostly first-person views or videos, and the reason I'm doing that, guys, is basically because they're easier to make, first of all, and I generally do a lot of casting during the week. If you guys don't see any of those games yet, it's because you're not following me on Facebook or Twitter. And honestly, I really do cast at least 4 or 5 Dota 1 games usually a week. So if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter, guys, then I always post links to when I'm streaming, and then you can be up to date and catch those videos and catch those live streams. So usually I'm not necessarily rip-roaring to cast more games, and I've already casted like 4 games, so I generally put a little bit more priority on getting first-person gameplays up on my channel. So, and especially because a lot of people coming into the game are going to be looking for that kind of stuff anyway. So, other related news, I'm working on a video guide right now. If you guys haven't been seeing me posting about it, I've been posted on Facebook and Twitter, and mentioned, yeah, mostly those areas, and maybe a couple other places like Reddit I've mentioned it. But basically I'm taking my Welcome to Dota You Suck guide and I'm going to make it into a video guide, which basically means that it's going to be like 30 to 40% in-game footage of me explaining things, and 60 to 70% of me talking in front of a camera. So I'm just about finished doing all of the storyboarding, which basically means I re-edited the guide for a video format, and I added in that kind of stuff, and from there I'm going to go and hopefully within a week have the in-game footage recorded, and as well some me personal talking thing. So it's going to be pretty long probably. I haven't actually timed out things yet, but I expect it's going to be at least 8 or 10 minutes of a general, like, this explains all of the main important parts about Dota. So hopefully we'll get a lot of views, and I know I've already gotten some feedback about it. And once again, guys, please give me feedback about my cast. I'm obviously not the best caster in the world yet, and it's something that's going to take a lot of hard work to do. So if you guys have any tips for me, please leave them in the comments below. And with further ado, time to cast this game, guys. Missed a couple bans, or a couple picks actually. We saw a Lich picked up, a Night Stalker, and a Priest of the Moon, and also a Vengeful Spirit and a Slardar swinging out for the first round. So Night Stalker did make it through, as well as the Lich. Those are some of those heroes that I mentioned that are very powerful. And Slardar has seen a lot of play recently. I really feel like they need to clean up his model a little bit here. This looks a little sloppy compared to something like Priest of the Moon, who looks super hot. And then there's like Slardar, and his mustache thing looks a little unusual, and it's clipping through his. But I'm sure they'll get to that stuff eventually. I'm sure they're working on a lot of other cool stuff. So Vengeful Spirit is picked up as well, and the Omni Knight. Omni Knight, a very interesting hero. He's probably going to solo mid, and Omni Knight plus the Slardar is actually going to be a pretty cool combo, or even throw Repel on the Witch Doctor in a mid-game team fight would be kind of cool as well. But he's pretty squishy and easy to kill generally, so probably won't see that. Most likely going to see Repels on Slardar in the mid-game. And Slardar is definitely a very good anti-carry. Now, the second round bans, we saw a Broodmother, a Weaver, a Dazzle, and a Crystal Maiden. The reason the Dazzle Crystal Maiden was banned was because the Radiant team didn't really have a ton of supports. They're going to need one more support here. I don't necessarily agree with the Dazzle. I feel like Dazzle is not the most common support to pick up. It's very rare that he does get picked up, but whatever, man. He does fit the support role, so in that sense, he works into their lineup. So Storm Spirit is going to be picked up for the Radiant team. Once again, guys, we're watching Finland versus TEG plus a stand-in. So that is what their team names are. That's what they informed me of the team names being before the game started. And now we're moving into the last pick, some reserve time. Scourge, or the Dire team, probably going to pick a solo hero or farmer. Could see a tri-lane of Slarvenge Witch Doctor, and they're going to probably need a long lane solo. I'm absolutely surprised we don't see a Windrunner yet. Windrunner is got to be who they're going to pick here. Come on. Unless they're going for a hard carry. They're probably a little worried about hard carry scenarios. But they already have a Storm Spirit and a Night Stalker, and a Priest of Moon. I would be really, really surprised if the Radiant team ended up picking a hard carry. So I think they would be wise to just pick something like a Windrunner and try to out-carry the game with maybe Slardar, Windrunner, and Omnia. It's a little thin. That semi-carry potential isn't as strong as a Storm Spirit, Priest of the Moon, and a Night Stalker, and they're going to be really, really gank heavy, especially with heroes like Storm Spirit and Night Stalker. Very, very good ganking heroes. Priest of the Moon can play a lot of different roles, but most importantly, has very good early game presence and can gank effectively. So I will expect to see heavy ganking out of the Radiant team, and the Dire would be wise not to pick up a farm heavy lineup, which we might see, but I would be really surprised. They don't really have a bot lane solo, if that's the case, unless they put the Slar aggressive tri lane down there. So not really sure who they're going to pick up here. They have 16 seconds left. I would love to see them pick up a Windrunner. I think that's going to be their best option, but we will see what they have. 10 seconds left. We don't have to wait too much longer, guys. And it's cool, going to be a Leshrac. I did not expect that to happen. We may see this Slarvenge Witch Doctor shift to the bot lane here, and then throw Leshrac on the top lane, or we might see a dual lane. We might see Witch Doctor Slar with a Venge Leshrac. That would also be very, very cool, because then their dual lanes are going to be very effective, and heroes like Priest of the Moon's going to have to be very careful. Leshrac has a 2-second stun, and I definitely think he has some room in the metagame. Mostly as a semi-push hero, caster hero. I love his model. God, it looks so good. I haven't actually played him in quite a while. Now it makes me miss him. I miss you, Leshrac. I miss you. Alright, we got about a minute 23 here before the Radiant team's got to pick up. I really feel like they need to get another support here that is pretty much going to be guaranteed for their lineup to be kind of successful, or a jungler. They could jungle a hero, put like Lich supporting, God, I don't know, Lich supporting Night Stalker, I guess. So support, maybe Lich supporting Night Stalker mid against Omni Knight, and then put Priest of the Moon on the top and the Storm Spirit on the bottom, and a jungler. They could do something like that. Maybe like a Furion, Nature's Prophet, or a Enchantress Chen. Something like that might be pretty good. But we'll see. It's kind of weird lineups on both teams. So I'm not too familiar with. It's harder to predict when the picks are more unusual. But I love seeing cool stuff like this, especially when we're in a league like this. People are mostly trying out strategies. They're kind of screwing around and testing around and getting good practice in. So it's always really fun to watch these games. 30 seconds left now for Finland before they roll into, before we actually get to cast the actual game. I just realized now that I didn't tell you where I'm at on Facebook and Twitter, but it's all the same, guys. Purge Gamers. Go follow me on those things. So if you guys are patiently waiting for me to announce that, and it is going to be a jungler. It's going to be a Nature's Prophet, and they will jungle that, probably solo the Storm Spirit on the bottom, Night Stalker mid with Lich, I'm guessing, and Priest of the Moon on the top lane. That's my assumption. We may also see maybe Lich babysitting someone on the top lane and just put a mid solo, but I feel like Night Stalker babysat by the Lich is going to be a little stronger, especially because Omni Knight is kind of easy to fight. Omni Knight is pretty good against Night Stalker. Not amazingly good, but semi-good. So we have an AFK from the Scourge team. And we can go over the players while we wait a second. Lapis is going to be playing the Storm Spirit. This is for Team Finland, by the way. Lapis playing the Storm Spirit. Boogie playing the Nature's Prophet. KIH playing the Night Stalker. Noreti playing the Mirana. And Jackie Hirki is going to be playing the Lich. For the Dire team, Freezer playing the Slardar. Come with me playing the Leshrac. He's a very successful Dota 2 streamer if you guys do not know him. Coco playing the Witch Doctor. Tenari playing the Vengeful Spear. And finally, Lion playing the Omni Knight. So that is the players in this game. I already called out who I think the Radiant is going to lane. Let me look over the Dire team. See, asking him if he's streaming. probably going to see Omni Knight mid. I expect we'll see Leshrac solo top, or give him a support with Vengeful Spirit, and then Slardar Witch Doctor bottom. That's my guess. I think that would be pretty smart if they did 2-1-2 lane. Or, yeah, 2-1-2. Because they don't really have a hard carry, so it's not like they really need to shut someone down. And they do have a very gank-heavy lineup, so I think it would be very wise for them to not have any solos. It's going to keep people alive more often when there's gank coming. And in that sense, I mean, I like the disables on the Dire team a lot. Good stun, good stun, good stun, good stun. Omni Knight beast support, basically. And the Radiant team is pretty much looking at harder to use spells, I would say. I mean, we've got a Chain Frost here. We have a Storm Spirit, who, if played right, can be really effective. And Nature's Prophet as well. Night Stalker with the slow and the disable. And Priest of the Moon looking for an arrow. Hopefully some epic arrows. Alright, while we wait, I'm going to check my stuff. Man, I hate when you have to wait for teams like this. It's frustrating. This is the roughest thing about live streaming usually, or casting games live, is you have to wait for things like these. Pauses or AFK periods, and games finally been resumed here. See if the Radiant team is actually ready. They didn't ask them to ask him if it was okay to go. Very interesting Priest of the Moon items. Going for wards here, I think this is going to result, it's going to tell that he is soloing top like we expected. He bought his own wards, he's got the regen, he has a Ring of Protection to get Basilius, but going very low on stats. This is generally not typical on Mirana, and her base damage is quite low right now, 44. Obviously this is variable, yeah, 39 to 50 is the average here. But that would be, or that's the range. This is the average, 44 is the average. And Night Stalker on the bottom, I'm going to go for a really fast Urn. And I guess he's going to solo bottom Nature's Prophet in the jungle. And it's going to be a Storm Spirit mid. And Lich going to Dark Ritual a creep here. And then swing to another lane. Already right off the bat though, the Dire team looking like they want to get a first blood down here.
30 seconds to battle.
Omni Knight is going to be in position as well. He's also getting a Basilius. And they actually smoke up. There is going to be one ward, that's going to be one counter ward. And they will be looking for a kill here. We're going to see if the Radiant team runs into this at all. No skills yet from the Nature's Prophet. And Priest of the Moon already dropped her wards and is going to be roaming around. Going to drop another one probably on the high ground here. They're looking to see if a Furion is around. So far they haven't spotted anything. Omni Knight on the way to the mid. They could catch the Priest of the Moon. They may catch her. They're going to spot her. Here's going to be the stun. There's the stun on the Priest of the Moon. There's the second stun, but she leaps away from it. That's going to keep her alive there. And that's going to stop the chain stun. Smoke has been used by these players. Come with me, immediately swinging towards that top lane. We have pings from the other Radiant team. They're like, get the fuck out of the jungle. And Storm Spirit now here in the mid. Actually, we see another stun. It's going to miss, actually. And decent amount of mana chunks are gone out of Leshrac, but going very, very set heavy. He's actually going to solo the mid lane here. I actually have done this item build before, except I usually get a gauntlet instead of a mantle, but gives you so much less hitting power. Plus 8 here, he's going to just use the healing salve to basically get into a really fast bottle, and then he's going to do a very fun time laning on the mid lane, that's for sure. His base damage is so high, 55 here. Actually, they're quite equal, surprisingly. And it will be a tri-lane on the bot lane. It's going to be Slardar with the Witch Doctor and Vengeful Spirit. Omni Knight soloing the top lane instead of the mid lane. I think this is actually really smart. He is pretty survivable. And Leshrac is going to be much more able to shut down the Storm Spirit once he levels up some Lightning, which he will go Lightning Harass. It's definitely the best build on the mid lane. Witch Doctor dropping a stun down on the Night Stalker. We will get another stun from the Venge, but that was a little bit of a waste there. He's going to pop his Clarity Potion and be healed up in a second here. And I'm actually very surprised that we have this tri-lane going on. Nature's Prophet not in the jungle here, going for a harassment, and he's actually doing very, very good doing so. Holy crap. Harassment coming out of this Nature's Prophet. He does have a Sprout as well. So we're actually seeing a Night Stalker Lich with a Furion. I always look at heroes like Furion, and I say why don't you lane him with an Ancient Apparition or something? That'd be kind of cool. I'm kind of surprised they are tri-laning this. I know that they would lose it if it was just Night Stalker Lich. So I think for that reason, that is why they put the Nature's Prophet on the bot lane. He's going to get very low levels as a result, though. And we're not going to see any pulling coming from the Radiant team. There's a stun on the Storm Spirit. Nice stun there. Going to continue hitting. It's so good to just absolutely continue last hitting. And another thing, Storm Spirit only has a range of 480 here, so Leshrac is going to have the advantage in that. He is outlaning him currently. Priest of the Moon on the top lane. Still has one ward left. Probably going to save it to stop the creep pull. Or at least give a little rune vision maybe. Looks like, yeah, the Radiant team actually doesn't have any rune control right now. Come with me once again, being a little aggressive here. And it looks like Venge just swung back to check the rune. It is a regen, so, and they have vision of it, so that'd be a little unexpected. So much base damage out of Furon, 50 to 64 here. Dark Ritualing the creeps continuously. All these dudes level 2, 1, and 1. And what is the Radiant Triline at 2, 2, and 2, I expect? Yes, indeed, that's where we're at. Priest Moon continuing to harass that Omni Knight. Every opportunity, that's when you gotta do it, man. Any bottle yet for Come With Me? Nope. He actually has a Null Talisman recipe right off the bat. Probably gonna go Null Talisman bottle. And I missed First Blood on the bot lane. While I was busy, it's gonna be a First Blood on the Slardar. And Witch Doctor probably gonna fall as well. And indeed, the base damage from these 3 heroes is just really, really high.
It's 6 feet down.
Vengeful Spirit, the only hero to survive from this. Slardar, no stout shield. He did use haste there, but apparently did not pay off. Items coming for the Witch Doctor, looks like a magic stick perhaps? Will we see some more disables? We actually have, yeah, that was both kills. I was going to say, did I miss a second kill? No, indeed, I did not. Furon now picking up his Boots of Speed, so he's going to be able to harass even harder here. And still no Stout Shield on Slardar. I don't think he was expecting to face a Tri-Lane here. There's the Sprout, but he uses that Quelling Blade. That is the benefit of the Quelling Blade, though. If you do get a Quelling Blade, every Sprout, assuming you react appropriately, is not going to cause any problems. And there's the Wave of Terror. Venge spending every bit of her mana there. I don't really like this. Not going to be able to do any disables unless she gets the clarity, and indeed the Witch Doctor will transfer the clarity there. Lap is popping up the salve here. He is maxing out his Static Remnant. And I mean, I'd be doing a little bit of offensive purification, but not a whole lot happening right now. I want to watch Leshrac a little bit. He did make the Null Talisman, and he is doing a little bit of Lightning Harass. He's going to be able to basically clear every creep wave, just about, once that Lightning Storm is maxed out. With a little bit of organization, he is going to end up doing this constantly. The regen is still in the bot lane, kind of surprisingly. But basically, he's going to clear creep wave to push the wave towards Storm, which means there's going to be no EXP that he's going to lose. He's going to bottle up runes like this. And he's going to start getting some kills. He's actually already going to... he was thinking about roaming on the bot. I guess he's not going to. It would be a little questionable. Lightning is very good against big groups of enemies. Cooldown on that spell is actually only 5.5 seconds. It doesn't do very much damage. It's actually a low damage nuke compared to most things, but Leshrac solo is actually very capable. I discovered this a long time ago. Maybe not a long time ago, but... Say ping on the top lane. Omni Knight kind of low on mana here. He's actually full on mana. Is he going to purify up here? He's definitely getting outlaned by the Priest of the Moon. Priest of the Moon has a lot of options, especially when he's on flat ground like this. It's a lot harder, or a lot easier just to harass people up lane. He's actually, Storm Spirit actually maxing Remnant first, surprisingly. This is not very typical. Usually you see the Electric Vortex max first, but I think he's a little bit less concerned about killing. And here comes the Furon TP. We're going to get a Sprout, and there it is. He dodges the stun. He breaks the Sprout with the stun himself, but he needs to run away. He needs to use this regen rune, and will he get it off? He pops it just now. It's going to keep him alive just enough. He only regens about 100 HP out of it, though. There's a stun on the Nature's Prophet now. And unfortunately for him, he was not able to completely profit off of that regen rune, but on the bright side, bottles up an invisibility immediately as a result. So regen definitely saving him there. Priest of the Moon once again harassing the Omni Knight. Going to be looking for a kill here. He might be able to score it. Omni Knight might be forced to use his ulti there. And Mirana deciding, you know, I'm not going to make it happen here. I should just back off. Eats 3 tower hits as a result. Kind of losing a little bit of advantage there. And a little bit of chase on the bot lane. Leshrac gets kill on the Lich. Using that invisibility. Going on the Night Stalker next. And he is absolutely going to die. Gets picked off by that Slardar Slytherin Crush. Slytherin Crush, sorry. Nature's Prophet TPing on the top lane. Looks like Omni did a heal on himself to keep him alive. And Priest of the Moon wants to land an arrow. Almost going to get a TP from Nature's Prophet. He does have a Sobi Mask. Probably going to turn this into a medallion shortly. And yeah, that is the power of Leshrac, guys. Get up a big mana pool. Bottle up runes. Do some ganking. These nukes do so much damage. 265 there. 240 there, 2-second duration stun. If somebody else can stun first, it's an easy land. And it looks like Slardar's going to go down here. He does get picked off. The 3 disables are just pretty high. Maledict level 2 actually. He's maxing Maledict out evenly, doesn't have his heal. And there's another slow on the Witch Doctor. The Urn as well is going to guarantee that kill. Going after Vengeful Spirit. Will he turn and get this kill? He did have the Void. Leshrac TP's in though. Will he get a stun off? He's waiting for cooldown. The stun was not going to land. I feel like he just should have pursued that. Could have lightninged him. And there we go. Look at that. So much damage done to this tri-lane here. He can basically just solo these 3 guys right now. Nature's Prophet going to leave the lane. Lich would be wise to do as well, but Nightstalker going to earn up. I feel like he should have continued chasing instead of going for the stun. If he would have done so, I'm pretty sure he could have gotten a lightning kill. Nightstalker didn't have that much HP. He lost his chance, basically. He's looking for a opportunity. He's hoping to catch the Nightstalker over here, but they're actually all going to leave the lane. Omni Knight doing an aggressive purification once again. We'll look at some CS totals while we're waiting here. While they beat on that tower, 32 on the Mirana, 38 on the Storm Spirit. We have 28 on Omni Knight, 22 on Slardar, and 32 on Leshrac. So it's actually pretty even here. I think the Dire team is a little bit in the head. Leshrac going to pick off all these creeps, using a little bit of lightning here. He's going to cast one more, I believe, and that'll finish it off. Creeps are gone, and now they're going to be looking to take this tower. He doesn't necessarily have Diabolic Edict, but when you do backdoor the creeps like this, it's effective. I am not going to get a last hit. Slardar making a little bit of a mistake. Once again, using Purify to pick off a CS. He still doesn't... Looks like he's probably getting Arcane Boots. Going to opt not to get a Soul Ring. That's more typical of an item, but the Arcane Boots Basilius is a little bit more team-oriented, so that's kind of cool. Slardar going to TP to the mid lane. He will start CSing here. They don't necessarily need to be on the bot lane anymore. And on the bright side, it's just going to be a Nightstalker babysat by a Lich. Nightstalker, it's like halfway through nighttime here, and Nightstalker hasn't gotten any ganks off. His skills aren't super highly leveled. Vengeful Spirit predicting where that Nature's Prophet is going to be, but they don't quite see him. Ward on the mid lane. This is going to see anybody that's waiting around. And will they initiate? They're going to find the Lich here. There's the stun. There's the Maledict. I think that's going to be it. 2 levels of Maledict. Yeah, Lich goes down for sure. Nature's Prophet will disable him. He is now juking. Slardar going to be chasing here. What a good juke. Are they going to stun? They do get the stun off, and that's it for Nature's Prophet. Very good attempt at escaping there, but he did end up going down.
Oh, now that's a health plan.
And there's some chain stunning on the Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit making a huge mistake. Didn't think he was going to get spotted. He does get killed. He was just about to ball lightning out. But the stuns from those 3 guys, man, gets taken out. And Leshrac opting to go for Max Diabolic Edict next. You do get an AoE increase between each level of Split Earth, but this is a good decision since he is in a pushing mindset right now. He's going to want to pick up some levels of that Diabolic Edict. It does very good tower damage. Even at level 1, it makes a big difference. And here's initiation on the Nightstalker. Nightstalker complete out of mana. The lightning actually did not bounce there. A little bit of a unfortunate situation, but Nightstalker, wow, that cask, man, making such a big difference. 198 damage per bounce to all these heroes. And will he launch another one? He's looking for the opportunity. A couple good bounces here. We're going to see 2 more dead support heroes. Man, Leshrac makes such a big difference in these early team fights. That's basically what we're seeing here. We're seeing a lot of early team fight engagements. His laning has a 5.5 second cooldown, 265 damage. This is like the equivalent to spamming the missiles from Tinker. And he has good HP now. Picks up the Power Treads with a Null Talisman. Opts not to go for the Arcane Boots. Goes for a more HP heavy lineup. And this is actually very good as well. When you have Power Treads, you can take advantage of some bonuses between... bottling up things. Did he actually jack that rune? What happened? Did he grab it? Where's the rune? Oh, it's 11 minutes. Sorry, my bad. When you do have power treads, you can switch to agility treads, bottle up, and then switch back to int treads, and you have a big mana boost, basically, as a result from doing that. It makes a big difference. Storm Spirit now in the mid lane. He is up to 8. Level 8, Null Talisman Wand with the treads. A little under-leveled here. Once again, guys, the lightning is just so good in the early team fights, and I like how he's been contributing so far, ganking the bot lane. Something I usually have a lot of trouble with on a ganking here. I usually spend way too much time farming on a lane.
Regeneration. Allies disappear.
We have an ulti from Priest of the Moon, surprisingly. He looks like he wants to initiate. I believe this Omni Knight had vision. There's the purification. We see a pause from Come With Me. Coco needs 1 minute currently. 48 CS on the Storm Spirit. He has died once because of his bad TP, or his unfortunate TP into stuns. 52 CS on the Mirana. 20 on Night Stalker. Nothing really much on Nature's Prophet though. He's 3-1-2. He's been making a very good contribution in the game so far. 37 CS on Slaughter, 43 on Leshrac, and 47 on Omniite. And if we look at the gold graph, look at that. Pretty bouncy so far. Dire's in the lead. They have had some really good team fights here. These are deaths, I assume. Lich dying, Nature's Prophet dying, Storm Spirit dying, and Night Stalker dying. So these 4 right here made a big difference. And that to those tower kills, we did see the bot tower kill and the mid tower kill. Oh no, mid actually didn't go down. Be prepared, guys, when they unpause here. The pings are going to go crazy. It's going to all make the ping sound at the same time. I should really report that on the forums. Definitely. And if we close this, let's press some more fancy buttons. Let's see if the Fog of War buttons are working. Looks like they are not. It just changes. It's not like giving me vision of either team, which I wish it would. There's the gold per minute tab. Leshrac very high, 319 here, definitely in the lead. Slardar doing pretty good on Omniite as well. Let's check F5, all the items in the game. If you're curious, phase boots on them, Priest of the Moon. Treads on Storm Spirit, but we already saw that. Doesn't look like Night Stalker actually. He doesn't have any boots yet. And we actually have Omniite with those arcanes still. They basically have very good pushing power out of the Dire team now. And a lot of really good early team fight. What is going on? F7, I think? Oh, there, it did it. Made the sound. Alright, game starting up here. There's the stun from the Leshrac. Apparently a lot of stuff happening here. He's bottling up. He's going to stun as often as possible. And there's another lightning. It's going to hit the whole team. And there, is that going to be it for the Night Stalker? He does end up going down. Just barely. Ulti by the Witch Doctor trying to pick off a kill, but it's not going to happen either. You kind of need a Maledict or somebody stand still really, really long for the Death Ward to work out. And Nature's Prophet now going to trade a little bit. Witch Doctor a little out of position, unfortunately for him, and he will get disabled enough. Killed definitely lands. That was a static remnant triggering to kill that Witch Doctor. That was the big hit there. And he tried to pick off that Nature's Prophet, but was not successful. Slardar up to level 7 now. Treads with that urn. Did he save the Leshrac? I think Leshrac ended up surviving. Oops. I need to do this. Oh, I guess it does work, actually. Let me see. So this is basically... This is what the Radiant sees right now. And if we press F3, this is what the Dire sees right now. I had issues with this last night. Leshrac on the top lane now, up to level 9. He does have a max split earth. He's going to get a little bit more AoE out of that spell as a result. It's going to weaken these dudes down, and they will trade up those CS, 2 each. Leshrac picking up a TP scroll now. And Night Stalker pretty far back. Mid tower getting pretty low. They might be able to take it with a little bit of a push. Another lightning on the creeps. Mirana using that bottle, and there's another purification. Going to clear out most of the creep waves. Just 1 left. We even have a Dire ward here. This was just placed. Little engagement on the mid lane. We're going to see an amp damage on Storm Spirit. He can always ball lightning out, and actually, he's going to be a little overly aggressive here. There's Starter going for a kill. Are they going to be able to get him? His minus armor with that Wave of Terror is actually quite low here. -9 currently. And will they go on somebody else? Medallion finished on Nature's Prophets. This is going to give him a lot of early game potential. And Witch Doctor trying to get a kill off. But the stun and the ulti from the Lich aren't going to be enough. They do pick off the tower as a result. Witch Doctor pays his life, basically, for a kill. Almost kills that Lich. He was very close. Definitely almost deserved that win. Or that kill. Slaughter now with the Ring of Health. He's going to be going for a Vanguard next, I expect. Night Stalker continuing to farm in the bot lane. Isn't doing that great, though. Let's check those fancy gold numbers. Dire team still in a lead here. 1,700, 1,600 gold, about that. Looking like they wanted to gank on the bot lane, but I believe he TP'd out. And indeed he did. I don't know if they saw that. There isn't quite a lot of vision right now for the Radiant team. They basically just have vision of a couple of these heroes down here. And Radiant now going to spot Storm Spirit. See if Witch Doctor gets scared. Storm Spirit doesn't look too worried about this. He is looking to initiate. He is at good skills. And here comes the stun from the Slardar and the Maledict. Wow. Storm Spirit walking right into that. Very, very good disabling by the Leshrac. And Nature's Prophet also TP's in here. Thinks that he's going to get a kill. And they just absolutely swing a big fight out there. And that was actually a DD on the Leshrac as well. Hitting for a lot of damage right now. Those early runes can be so effective on a hero like Leshrac. Invisibilities, illusions, double damages, haste. So very useful. It's basically a lot like a Zeus with a better attack, I think is and a disable, of course, the most important part. But initiating that 2-second stun on the Storm Spirit, he just walked into that immediate Maledict from the Witch Doctor. And they got picked off, absolutely got baited into that. Not using a Diabolic Edict quite yet. And there we go, gonna get a Lightning and a Split Earth to clear out the creep wave. Will he Diabolic Edict this? Gonna need a couple AoE nukes. Diabolic Edict is doing the damage, not gonna have the mana to get a stun out for the Leshrac, and there it is. He pops his wand, lands on the Night Stalker. I think Slardar will die. He does indeed. Storm Spirit balls through. He might try to get this Courier. Nope, Courier will fly out. Witch Doctor is going to probably end up dying, though. There's a little bit of disable. He Maledicts and ultis there. Does a decent amount of damage, but that's about all he can manage. Storm Spirit will be absolutely fine here. Vengeful Spear with boots. Working towards treads, just that Belt of Giant Strength. Pretty naked items. Usually you see a fast wand picked up before a Belt of Giant Strength. This gives you a little bit more HP. Leshrac going for Perseverance. He's going to be making a Bloodstone this game, almost guaranteed. Still sitting on those power treads of Strength. We can look at some team vision right now. This is the Radiance team. They don't have a ton of vision. All the towers are still up. Their map control is very low here. And for the Dire team, they're looking pretty good as well. A little bit better. Still only 2 towers down. They're definitely going to be looking to take this mid tower as soon as they get the opportunity. Slardar now in the top lane. Just about to get his Vitality booster. Priest of the Moon with the invisibility, and she's actually getting a really fast defusal. They did pick her up to counter that Omni Knight basically, but there's initiation. We're going to see medallions and a lot of nukes actually on Slardar, and a nice arrow landed by the Priest of the Moon. That's it for him. Very, very good gank there. A little unfortunate for Slardar. He did not know there was an invisible Mirana, and Storm Spirit balls in, and of course the TP from the Nature's Prophet is very, very adequate to getting a kill there. Nature's Prophet will be getting treads next. This is going to allow him to be a little bit more effective in his ganks. He will be ulting here as well. Priest of the Moon about to get ganked, though she doesn't spot anything. Just now going to see the Vengeful Spirit here. Here's the Wave of Terror. He wants that tower. He got way too focused here. We will see a leap. He's going to jump into the trees here. And unfortunately for Vengeful Spirit here, will he swap it? He does swap to cancel the TP. Spent that Wave of Terror to not give sight, but yeah, guaranteed kill. And it got denied. Very, very nicely done by that Dire team there. Denies the tower, kills the Priest of the Moon, makes him commit, and bad reaction time. He's definitely tunnel vision or looking somewhere else as he got ganked there. Witch Doctor getting a kill on the Night Stalker, and it looks like Nature's Prophet may be next, and there's the stun from Slardar. It is so tough to play Nature's Prophet against the Slardar. While they change targets, what is going on? He wants to get the tower, but he doesn't end up getting. Oh my god. Wow. He just committed so hard to getting that tower. I cannot believe that there. I thought for sure. I think they just got extra assist gold because they were around tower. I don't know if that's what happened there. I'll have to check that out later. Nature's Prophet. They changed targets. Slardar was definitely going to kill Nature's Prophet. Was like, oh shit, kill the tower. And all of a sudden, Witch Doctor got initiated on. I feel like he maybe should have killed the Nature's Prophet first and then tried to get the tower. I don't know. He hit it quite a few times. His damage isn't very high yet, so it's understandable that he didn't just drop it immediately, but very peculiar. Regen rune now on the Leshrac, up to 1200 gold. Doing a very good job here. Storm Spirit and the side over here. He does have his ultimate orb finished. He will be going for a Linken's, looks like. It's not the most typical Storm Spirit build. Almost always we see Black King bars recently, but Linken's was the original. Other than Bloodstone, of course, it was the original build that was really popular. And it looks like he did repel on the Roshan to remove his spell block here. But unfortunately, it's a super long duration repel, and they're finally going to get the amp damage off. And they will pick him off quite soon. Especially the minus armor coupled with the Leshrac is pretty cool. Diabolic Edict does part magic and part physical damage, but there we go. Swapping immediately on the Prophet. They do all go invisible, and we don't have an amp damage yet. There's one. Chain Frost's going to do quite a bit, hitting about 4 times. And a stun from Leshrac hits so many heroes here. Everybody's still invisible. It's going to be it for Storm Spirit, though. We do see a mechanism now. Or was that a mech? I don't know, but wow. Picks off the Storm Spirit. with a nice stun. We actually get a repel on the Leshrac, which is very good. Looks like they changed to what repel looks like. I think that's pretty cool. It looked just like Black King Bar before, which was at times a little confusing, so it looks a little different now. But about the same, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, Dire team winning a big team fight 15 to 12. They're still in a disadvantage, but they did pick up the Roshan kill. Chainmail on the Vengeful Spirit. He's probably going for a medallion. It's going to stack up even more minus armor. Like I was saying before that team fight happened, Leshrac X Diabolic Edict does half physical damage and half magic damage. So minus armor bonuses actually do make a nice impact on that. He's actually going for a Linken's here. Very surprising. Picks up the ultimate orb, so he's not going to have as much mana regen, but he will have a... He's going to have more int out of it, and he's going to have stats out of it, which is a cool thing. So his HP levels are going to be pretty adequate, and after that, I'm kind of interested to see what he goes for. But against this team, I guess that's pretty smart. Against Night Stalker, against Lich, Storm Spirit as well. It's going to disable or shut down at least one disable there. And will the tower be denied? The nice arrow comes in, but he's been repelled. It doesn't matter. He keeps trying to keeps canceling his stun there. He's absolutely going to be fine, though. If they dive, he's still going to have that invisibility. And Slardar actually goes in. Going to jump on the Storm Spirit. Not the best target, in my opinion, but he Maledicts on 2 heroes here. Going to do a lot of damage to Night Stalker. Night Stalker guaranteed to die here. Slardar now chasing with the repel on. And this is why they banned Doombringer right off the bat, guys, because they wanted to pick up this Omni Knight here. Omni Knight would have been a very good counter. He basically just dooms one of these guys and sends them packing. And we have the Omni Knight going max support build, Arcane Boots with the mechanism doing very good. Just sitting on a magic stick, didn't want to commit too hard to that item. And does Leshrac have his Linken's coming? He does indeed. Linken's is on the way. Diabolic Edict just absolutely eating into the tower, and very wisely, the Radiant team's going to pop the glyph as soon as that Diabolic Edict goes off. It's the best time to stop the damage. Witch Doctor as well with the Arcane Boots, very good mana support. But Leshrac is definitely the crux of this team, basically. It's Leshrac pushing a very early game in here. He did not get ganked, which is part of a kind of a big mistake. He did get ganked once, but that was about it here. Gonna see an Illusion Rune. Vanguard with the, Slardar with the Vanguard is what I meant to say. And Furion, a little scared. Looks like he's gonna TP out. Tree's all respawning now. And he actually gets trapped in there, but he can TP out, no problem. He will release himself once again, just taking a little bit of time. Will they try to gank this Slardar? They will indeed. Are they going to be effective, though? It's going to be tough. There's the slow, there's the fear. He's not going to be able to stun here. He immediately eats his way out. Very good reaction time from Freezer here. And Storm Spirit comes in. There's the next disable. He will stun this, but that's it. Slardar goes down. Very nice gank there on that Slardar. 16 to 14 currently. The ganking lineup from the Radiant team is just so powerful. Nature's Prophet going to TP to the bot lane. We'll do a little pushing here with the Lich. Lich up to level 8. He is very underfarmed. 2 smokes. Coco and Lion in position to do any ganking. He actually max repel second. Very interesting. Opting not to get the degen aura. This is going to be a little bit more of a support build and less of a I'm in your face, giving you minus attack speed and movement speed. Degen aura is just a really, really good spell. And Mirana with that Diffusal Blade and those Phase Boots can be attacking quite fast and hitting pretty hard here. They will be looking to take their tower. Illusion split off by the Leshrac. Gonna try to push back the creep wave. He is fearing an arrow or something. We're gonna see some lightning all over the place here. It's gonna stop the creep wave push by quite a bit. Repel now on the Leshrac so you can be aggressive. His mana levels are not quite too high here, but it is regenning quite fast now with that Linken's. About 10 regen per second. Invisible Night Stalker going to immediately go on Vengeful Spirit. This could be big trouble for Vengeful Spirit. He's going to smoke himself, but absolutely a big waste of that ability, and we're going to get a Void in a second. Is the Urn going to be enough? It does kill him. Wow, that was close. He could have maybe juked in there. Slardar with the Repel now. Looking for a kill. He's going to eat it. Eats that arrow. Man, Repel is so good. And Nature's Prophet now with the Ultimate Orb. He's going for that Sheep Stick. Breeze the Moon up to 1400 gold, nothing too unusual here yet. Storm Spirit 13. Void Stone. Lincoln's getting tricked off by the ultimate, and they're looking to take a Rex here. There's Slardar Magic Immune. He's going to be looking to dive. A little bit of a disable to shut down some of those trees. Diabolic Edict doing good tower damage, but here comes the initiation. Who will Nightstalker go on? He's going to nuke on the Omni Knight. The mech is immediately popped. They got to kill that Omni Knight before he ults. And will they get it off? They do kill him. He did not get his ult off. Chain Frost bouncing through. Ultimate from Witch Doctor, hitting Nightstalker pretty hard. Witch Doctor still healing, and Priest Moon ends up going down. Leshrac is still up here, still doing good damage. Now another Diabolic Edict. More nukes. Will he pick off Nightstalker? He will indeed. Now going after Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit very low on mana. First stun misses. Slardar will get his stun off though. There it is. There's the amp damage, and the arrow's going to be good. Oh, gets disabled by the Lincolns, and they get the kill. Slardar goes down, but Lesh and Venge going to pay for their lives. So many buybacks in this game. Holy crap. Mirana, Storm Spirit, and Nature's Prophet all buying back there. And as a result, scoring 3 kills. Actually, Omni Knight was dead the whole time, but Omni Knight definitely the hero to initiate on. He was very, very quick to action there. Very nicely done by him to disable that, or pop his mech immediately upon getting jumped. 21 to 18. Radiant team knows that they need to take a Rex. There's too many semi-carries on the enemy team. We have an Ogre Club now in Slardar. He's going to be able to BKB by himself. Doesn't have to rely on the Repel anymore. Can keep that on heroes like the Leshrac. And the Lincolns gets disabled by that Medallion. That's what Medallion is good for, guys. There's the arrow. Wow, this could be a successful gank on Come With Me. Huge delay, or arrow. Blah, he's definitely going down. Very nice gank there. Disabling the Lincolns, dropping the Sprout, and getting a guaranteed arrow. The worst part was his stun was on cooldown, so he was not able to remove trees. He used that stun on the creeps, and as a result, man, gets killed. For sure, he would have been smart enough to drop that stun down. Medallion, a lot of support items on the Vengeful Spirit right now. And Nightstalker going towards that Vanguard. He does have his Vitality booster. Slardar in position, looks like he wants to gank, but then the Storm Spirit shows up. He knows he can't do that successfully now. And it looks like a little bit more roaming. Omni Knight pressuring on the Nature's Prophet. He's going to back off here. He also has an Ultimate Orb. Will he be going for a Lincoln's as well? I think that would be a pretty good item. Vengeful Spirit almost running up to the high ground. We might see a counter ward. That was a little peculiar movement coming from the Radiant team. He did a very good job doing Shift Q warding. That's very smart to do when you're warding an obvious spot, because then you don't stop for like 2 seconds and then turn and place a ward. It's a little bit harder to tell. It's a little bit obvious basically to tell that somebody just did a ward. And Slardar initiating, it's going to be on the Nature's Prophet. He's just got to stay close to him so that he can't get a Sprout off. Will they be able to get another disable? There it is. It's going to be after a bash, and Nature's Prophet will go down. We're even going to see an ultimate from the Leshrac, but now he's completely out of mana here. A little bit of a mistake. Will we get a stun off? And we do. Stunning on the Nightstalker. Guaranteed kill. Very nicely done. Huge ganking lineup. So many stuns from the Dire team. It's such a fun game. 22 to 20 currently. Very even. But now the Nature's Prophet is going to be in a pushing scenario. He's actually on cooldown for buyback, I assume. But Mirana and the Lich both pushing on the spot lane. They want to take out that tower if possible.
Blessings.
And the tower does get destroyed. Mirana gets that last hit. Still's only used one diffusal charge so far, but it's so nice to have this finished. What will he buy next? That's also curious. He's going to pick up the Ultimate Orb of course. He's going for a Manta. Especially Manta with the Diffusal Blade works out really nice. Any illusions are going to do damage based off of your stats. So a stat damage item, like a Diffusal Blade basically, is going to pay off very hard. You won't get the mana drain with your illusions because Mirana's a ranged hero, because that would be OP as hell. But he will get the benefit of his melee, of his primary still getting that. Manta is such a good item. This is like one of the very few occasions when Mirana will ever get a any item before Manta. But here they're going on. So many AoE damage going on. Will Omni Knight go down? He does mech, but wow. The damage nukes coming out of the Radiant team. It's just so much. They actually pick off the Omni Knight there. They traded Lich and the Priest of the Moon though. And Nightstalker may go down as well as soon as we get another disable out. And indeed, he just right-clicks him, man, and picks off that Nightstalker. Slardar hitting so hard here with that amp damage. could be it for the Radiant Rax here. Leshrac going to pick it off with the Diabolic Edict. And Witch Doctor healing everybody up. They need more mana to get put onto that Leshrac, but the Omni-Knight did die, so only 1 Arcane Boots, but they will pick up the melee Rax. Range Rax may follow as well. And Leshrac wants the bot tower as well. His mana pool isn't quite high enough, though. He has to be a little careful of the Storm Spirit. He's actually going to TP out. Wise decision. Nature's Prophet was doing a little ninja pushing. Changing targets here, and he's going to be jumping on the Slardar. He does go right on him, a little close, and there he is. Are we going to see a Quelling Blade pick up? Actually, Quelling Blade on Slardar is gone. Storm Spirit may pay for this, but they do pick off the Witch Doctor in time. Now going after the Slardar, he's continuing his pressure. He's going to have another Sprout in just a second here, and there it will be. There's the stun. That could keep Slardar alive. Wow. Absolutely clutch stun there. Just in time for the Sprout. Disabling that ability. Slardar going to pick up a double damage. This could be a Roshan attempt. Very successful, I expect. And there we go. Going to remove that glyph. 8 more seconds here. The amp damage will drop. And this is going to be it for Roshan going away. The BKB is finished on Slardar. And there it is. The amp damage, minus 8 armor. And not to mention, he does have a reduced attack speed from that Dejanor. And another minus armor. Man, there's just so much minus armor. So good for Roshan. Nature's Prophet TPing in. He's going to drop an Observer Ward on the top just as they go to Roshan. He's going to spot them running, though. Slardar wants the blood. He did spot the Nature's Prophet. It's daytime. He hasn't spotted him, though. Did not quite catch him. Arrow lands on a Wildkin. Looks like he was looking to scout there. And very good juking from Nature's Prophet. Will he get spotted? Oh my gosh, that was close. Wow. Wow, that was close. I was so scared for Nature's Prophet there. He does have a Sheep Stick. He's farming very, very good. Who needs Hand-to-Midas and Aghanims to farm, man? Slardar gonna drop the stun down. He does have that Aegis. I almost feel like it would have been better on Omni-Knight, though. That's the only problem. Once Omni-Knight dies in the beginning of every team fight. It's hard to say, though. The magic nukes are so big, it's not like he's the only one taking damage. The Chain Frost and the other heroes actually take a lot of damage in those little bit of initiations. But they got to keep this Omni-Knight alive. If he can keep cycling his cooldowns, it's going to keep people alive, make a big difference. 1 Sentry Ward place, this could be it. And they're going to drop another one. There it is. And all of a sudden they realize they're in the middle of a team fight. Chain Frost going through. They didn't give them time to set up. Slardar ultis going on the Omni-Knight. Omni-Knight, not a perfect initiation from the Radiant team this time, unlike the previous fights. And there's the ulti. Are we going to see the Diffusal Blade? Wow, the ulti from the Witch Doctor actually going to pick off the Nature's Prophet. Very nicely placed on the high ground there. And that could be it for the Radiant team. Going to lose another Rax here. Very, very good decision by them to try to initiate before they got set up. Like I said, they dropped 1 Sentry Ward here, and then they dropped another Sentry Ward here. Almost every team is going to drop a Sentry Ward here, but they engaged them at this point, which is a little bit early, so they almost caught them off guard there, but just a little bit too late. Venge got that Sentry Ward down, and it made all the difference. Disable on the Storm Spirit. He does actually have a Sheep Stick. Didn't opt to go for the Lincolns. And Slardar changing his mind. He's going in. There's a stun. Going after him. And they, wow, burst down that Storm Spirit. Picking off the Lich as well. And that's going to result in them finishing the game, guys. After they pick off that 4-man kill there. Well, 3-man. Nature's Prophet is still dead. Another Sentry Ward on the high ground. And they're going to rotate to the top lane. Or just throne it. Also a possibility. That heal from that Witch Doctor. It's going to keep Slardar up. And the Lapis from Team Finland is going to call it GG. Very, very fun game to watch, guys. The Scourge team played very well there. I'm really happy to record this. And I will be casting a lot more from the eSahara League in the future, guys. Please stay tuned to the channel, of course. If you guys are just watching this randomly on the interwebs, please subscribe to my channel, guys. I'm going to be posting so much Dota 2 content. It's not going to stop. One of the best places on YouTube to catch Dota 2 stuff, so please stay tuned and please subscribe. And I will see more from you guys in the future, as you will see more from me. That is for sure. The Ancient will go down slowly. Still no quits from the Radiant team. And that is it, guys. Thank you for watching. TEG. Yeah, TEG plus 1 stand-in is going to pull out the win here. Very fun game. Kind of low kill count, but nice aggression and very fun team setup. So once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next video.